Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's good to be back here. We're going to go through some law of attraction side of things because Roger and I have been speaking about meditation, hypnosis, and the mindset of believing where you're actually going to go and your goals and what you actually want to achieve. And law of attraction always comes up, the secret, the magic, and all these different methods that people implement. However, is that what people need to do in order to get
I think also people tend to think law of attraction, so all I do is sit there and I attract. And I think some people get it quite quickly and other people aren't. I think a lot of it depends where your headspace is, because I think you've got to start off realizing that you already are attracting things.
Yeah.
Your energy and what you put time and energy into, the old classic of the person who's gone through their fifth marriage, and they go, I just seem to be having the same problems in my marriage and I attract the same type of partner. It's like, well, you're already attracting that. You're just not aware of what signals or what energy or what you're doing to attract that. So I think law of attraction really for me only just becomes a sense of actually being conscious of how you can tap into that power. Without initially sounding too way out. You're already doing that by what you choose to wear, where you choose to hang out, what friend group you tend to hang out with. You're already attracted. Whatever you have in your life at the moment, you kind of have already attracted, or you have to stop and say, I'm responsible for where I am now because that's what I've attracted into my life.
That is a big part of it, taking responsibility, as we said, and we'll do some other shows on that topic. But wherever you are, as you say, you are specifically responsible for getting yourself there. No one else. You've had the mindset, you've had the thinking behind that, you've put in the work or not put in the work if you're not where you want to be. And a lot of people have goals, and we see that you have to meditate on these goals, which I do every morning.
Yeah.
I have Money Magnet meditation. There's a book which I get read to me because Audible is so cool. And it's a 100-year-old book, I believe it is, and it's The Secret of Getting Rich. And that's what The Secret was based on. It took a lot of tips, and it's a 2-hour book, and the stuff in there is so powerful that the universe already has all the money we ever need. Someone's already got that money that you need.
Yeah.
And you want, whatever we want to say with that. And it's attracting it to you because of the way your body actually works. Now, it's all well and good believing that you want to get there and going to test drive that car and feeling the steering wheel and really meditating that you're in the room of your dream house and having your vision board, which I love. I have a vision board as well at home. I have goals. I journal every morning. Actually, I'm going to step back there. I say every morning. Now, I would say it's less than 99%, but my wife tells me that she hasn't seen a morning that I've not journaled, done my daily stoic and done my meditation. But for example, Tuesday, we went out on Monday and I didn't do it Tuesday. What
you're hinting there is you've got to put the effort in.
Exactly.
You've got to work at it. So it's no good just sitting there and going, I'll write a list and these are the things that I would like to attract into my life. You touched on at the podcast, I think it might have been the last one where you did by yourself, of I've seen the car, I've seen this, I've seen myself doing that, and you only get to that point by putting the effort in.
Yeah.
That still in itself doesn't mean that I know what I want and then you sit back and I've asked for it and then I attract it. You've still got to put the effort in, and meditation is only one of many tools. The vision board, the journal, the goal setting, these are all just tools that you can then draw on to envelop yourself into the law of attraction.
Yeah, and I think as well, while you actually are in that state of meditation and believing you are already that person, you're not going to be a different person when you get the car you want, when you purchase the house you want, when you've got the job you want, when you're earning what you want. But you're already that person now. You have to know that is what you want.
Okay.
Because is it you want that car because you want to impress someone you went to school with, or do you want that car because you really want that car?
Yeah, so be careful what you attract, because
Yeah.
sometimes it could bite you in the bum.
It was interesting that we went to see Ant Middleton, and like, you know, it's like Man Crush Central. We wanted to do the things he's done and climb Everest. It wasn't supposed to be extreme Everest, but it kind of turned out that way with him. And he said, "Be careful what you wish for," because he mentioned that he's going to climb Everest. He was going to do it on his own back, and then Channel 4 said they'll fund it and do everything. He said, "Great, but I'm not going up there to see the sights. I want Everest to throw everything that she has at me."
Yeah.
And there was 60-kilometre winds. He got snow blind. He nearly lost his toes. And it was because, again, he'd got the universe to throw that at him, and he wished for it, essentially.
Yeah, you as I said, you've got to be specific what you want, because the universe has a way of also throwing at other things that it thinks that you need to challenge yourself. The law of attraction is about growth. It's about understanding and a journey of development. So along those lines, you've mentioned quickly a couple of things. So let's go through a couple of, so people get an idea of some of the tips and tools that you can tap into. We've spoken a lot about meditation. I don't think we need to go through a lot of that. There's loads of tools, and we've done apps, and so go back into the podcast,
Yep.
have a look through that. You mentioned vision board.
Mm-hmm.
I love the vision board. I've been very slack because I haven't got a vision board going at home, but I love the vision board. So explain the vision board quickly. Vision board 101, brief.
It's literally, you can get a piece of cardboard and you put pictures of the things you want on there.
Yeah.
And it could be, there's your home, this is your dream holiday, this is what you look like with your dream suit on, or
Yeah.
the body where you want it to be, the car you want, the happy family.
Yeah.
And
So some people use a vision board visually. Some people will have a chalkboard I've seen where you just write things on. You can encourage the whole family to do it. So if the kids want to get great marks in the exams coming up, they put it up there. They put what they're working towards. It's a jolt to remind you what you're working towards.
Yeah.
But like sticking affirmations up.
I've got a big thing in my room where I've got a massive poster of Everest. And so I've made it clear that I'm climbing Everest on my 47th birthday, although I got told on a podcast interview I was doing that you're going to do it by the time you're 40. It's been 47 because that's when my dad died, but on top of my bookshelf, I literally halved the books in my room, and because of minimalism as well. And we could do something on that about clearing out clutter in your room, in your life, which means an uncluttered room is an uncluttered brain. But I digress with that, but I've literally put books of people that climbed Everest on top of my bookshelf.
Yeah.
There's an Everest base camp picture there. It's to show myself that whenever my computer is here, up there I can just see out the corner of my eye Everest, that I'm constantly climbing.
That's the vision. So you've got the vision board with that. Then we've got other things, affirmations. Some people like putting little reminders or stickers up. I reminded a couple of patients, we had a team meeting today, and reminded a staff of, sometimes it's even as simple as having a little affirmation or sticker by a mirror, and then you look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, you're amazing, and use your example, you're amazing, you're going to climb Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just putting work in and reminding drip drip, and you move in your conscious towards that. You're attracting, but actually you moving towards that.
I think as well, there's the switch in there is that's future as well.
Yeah.
Not you're going to climb, you're climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Because now every step I take is moving me closer towards it. And that is another thing which is good, an accountability mirror.
Yeah.
Your goals are on there, what you need to do is on there. Journaling is great. And you
So
do accountability and journaling.
Journaling
put
for
it
you
around the mirror.
is more than just a vision board on a piece of paper.
I've got...
Because I've got a journal, and what I do with a journal is when I see quotes, or I read a book or anything which sticks with me, resonates with me, I'll stick it in my journal. And then the journal becomes something that occasionally I go back and just page through. And it reminds me of things that are congruent with me, or things that, and it might be a picture, it could be a phrase, it could be just something which will jolt me back to knowing that keeps me on who I am and true to my principles. That's how I use a journal. So to me, a journal is different to a vision board.
Mm-hmm.
But is that the same for you, or do you use a journal different?
I've got an AM journal and a PM journal, and I think we should do another show on AM and PM bookends, because that's going to be really good. But my AM journal, it's got about 100 different goals that I've got. Business goals, relationship goals, happiness goals, health goals, and all these different things. And what I do, once I've done my meditation, I read through my daily Stoic book, and Robin Sharma, the monk that sold his Ferrari, he's got a daily book as well, which has literally got 1 or 2 paragraphs in for every day of the year. I read through that, and then I look at a goal, I sit back and close my eyes, and I envision what it feels like to hit that goal.
Yeah, and you're trying to really get all your senses, the whole nervous system to feel and experience.
Yeah, and then I journal about it. And it might be only 2 or 3 paragraphs. For example, one of them in there, I've done it about 3 or 4 times now, because that's been where my pen has landed, the Everest one.
Yeah.
And it's, what am I doing? And the goal isn't to climb Everest, it's to go up and get back down again. So remember that one of the goals is at the summit, and the other is to safely get back to base camp and to safely get home. So I've journaled about getting to the summit and ringing my wife and saying, I'm here, I'm the tallest person in the world, and all these different things. But then I've journaled about reaching base camp again, and then I've journaled about getting off the helicopter after base camp. All those times, and I spent a good time. Sometimes I have gone 2-3 pages. Even my dream house, where I'm walking through the door and here's my living room, there's a bathroom there, this then goes up to the staircase, you go straight through to the kitchen, there's a door to the garage which has got the gym, and all these different things, and I've journaled about it.
The more detailed and the more tactile and more an experience it can be, the more real it becomes. In golf terms, the sports psychologists always tend to say when you stand on the tee and you hit a golf ball, you're not just trying to hit the fairway, you're trying to hit a specific part of the fairway. The narrower your and more concentrated your target, the more closer you're going to land close to the target. So when you're trying to hit a putt and you want to hit it in the hole's too big. Mm-hmm. Which part of the hole, which blade of grass, just sticking in the hole. The sharper your focus, the more precise is the target, the more likely you are to finish close to that target. So it's the same.
It goes as well with the health goals, because I've put things in there of knowing the feeling of being able to ride 100 miles and being able to run 10 miles without breaking, without having to come and see you the next day, and what it feels like there, and what it feels like after I've done a streak of 2 months. And one of the goals in there is to eat nachos twice a month without feeling bloated, without having that worry that I'm going to get bloated, because I love nachos, as we know. But
it's the law of attraction.
It's rushing
to
to
attract the nacho. You know what you remind me with that when you're going through and you vision and that is the bobsleigh?
Cool runnings.
You know what? Yeah. But you see in the bobsleigh, like the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, you see the driver.
Yeah.
Before he sits there with eyes closed and he's doing this, and what they're doing in his mind, he's already going the track. So when he does the track, he's already done that run. You know, they don't just pitch up and go, okay, let's just see what we do. They've done that. The Formula One racing drivers, they've done that circuit.
Have you seen the documentary on Netflix?
No.
There's a documentary that goes through all of last season, and it's not your Ferraris and your Mercedes. It goes through the middle teams and some of the other teams there. And I think it's Esteban Ocon. He's got this seat, he's got a steering wheel, and he goes through Silverstone. And he's just got his eyes closed, he's got his socks on, and he's moving the gears, and he said, we're doing this, and then we have to go that way, and then we go through this corner and that corner, and then we're back to the home straight. And he's just visualising himself, and he knows that track so well, and just visualising and visualising. And you can even step up to simulation as well, especially with Formula One, where you go through the simulation. They use PlayStation now, it's that realistic that they have all these simulators. And if you believe truly that you can get there, and when you believe that you can get there, you start getting towards it.
So you've got to see it, you've got to taste it, touch it, it's got to become tactile, it's got to become an experience, then you've got to almost live it.
You've got to live it,
before it actually becomes reality.
When they say...
Otherwise you're sitting back all the time and going, well, when I do this, or, I never happens to me. And it's like, no, because you're not attracting it. And I think that's the take-home message. Is the attraction, the law of attraction is that you've got off your backside and you are attracting these events into your life, and it has to start from a conscious perspective, and then that eventually becomes a reality.
And there's a big
no one's going to suddenly wake up and say, I'm now taking you up Everest, and instantly you've got all the fitness, instantly you've got all the equipment, instantly you're not ready for it.
No, And some of the actual meditation will be, I've just gone through a smaller peak and I've accomplished reaching that summit and coming down again and doing Snowdon as many times as possible in 24 hours and doing these different training ones. But when someone says you have to live like a millionaire, they don't mean go and get into thousands and thousands of pounds of debt. They're saying, because no one wants to be a millionaire.
No,
That's the thing. Just like no one wants to lose weight. There's an underlying reason that people want this money because they think it's going to get security, but what are you actually going to buy?
Well, it's
The house,
good.
the
Is
car,
it going
the
to security?
lifestyle.
Is it going to give you a status? They're usually they're associating with that money with something else.
Yeah.
Whereas most of the time they've probably already got it.
Yeah.
They just haven't really.
A massive book that I think we should finish on here that is so powerful when you read it is The Alchemist. Have you read that?
I'm not a big reader, so I'm the one who looks for the audio book or someone
pretty
else.
certain there must be an audio.
Or someone else. So that is on my
Okay.
list. That's the kind of, I'm looking for the 101.
Yeah, it's only literally about that thick. It's not very big. It's the Audible would be really powerful, but it talks about you take this journey to go all the way around the world. Essentially, the alchemist takes this journey, and then he realizes what he's got and what he actually wants is in his backyard anyway.
Yeah.
I won't go into too much depth because you can read the book to see it, and it has much more power to see that. But you wish for a lot of things, and you want to attract a lot of things in the world, but for one, what is actually in your world already has been attracted by yourself. However, when we look deeper, there's a lot more we've attracted into our world than we actually think that is what we want already.
And we may be saying the right things, but actually we're attracting things on a different level, on different energies and different body language. So people might say they want to do something, but their energy is actually attracting other things. So if you're in a place that you want change or you're looking, law of attraction, The Secret, look up, there's loads of books, lots on YouTube. There's lots. I know also Law of Attraction has got a Facebook page, which I follow.
The Secret is actually on Netflix as well.
Yeah. So explore that, look at that, and what happens also interesting is you become a little bit more mindful already of what's going on and what people are attracting and what you're attracting. So have fun with that and drop a comment, give us some feedback. What's your experience with Law of Attraction? What have you learned, or what have you perhaps attracted which you weren't expecting? Give us some feedback and we'll catch up with you next time.
Take care, guys.
Take care. See you then.